Okay, so the N-1 Starfighter or Naboo Fighter, one of my favorite ship designs from the prequel trilogy. And this is my mock of it, but kind of with a twist. I mean, not really a twist, or maybe the twist is that this thing doesn't look as good as it maybe should look. So I guess that's why it isn't your usual N1 with the sleek curves and sexy shapes. This is more like, yeah, I found this thing in my space barn under a pile of hay and kind of fixed it up. And to be honest, that's kind of what I was going for with this design, actually. I mean, if you look around on the internet, you will find some very good looking Naboo fighter designs, no question. But they can get rather expensive, which is fine. I mean, some of them are really like works of art. But I was going for something more cheap to acquire and more easy to build. Now, my model is a compromise. It might not look that good, but it gets the most important design aspects right. At least to a point at which you can recognize this thing as a Naboo fighter, I'd say. I did have to make some sacrifices, of course, because that is what you always have to do when building mocks. At least mocks that are somewhat practical, or not practical, but rather like simple. Or maybe I'm just not that good of a designer anyway. But yeah, this thing's proportions aren't quite right. I am aware of that. The cockpit is too big in relation to the rest of the ship, and the front section is too short. But it scales well with my other mocks and the new official TIE Fighter in X-Wing, for example. And the most important part is, it's very easy to build, and you don't need a lot of special pieces. But yeah, let's take a closer look. First of all, yes, the engines suck. I needed to find something that I could do as some sort of a placeholder until I get better pieces, and yeah, that's it. They're too big, too naked, like open and not very sleek at all. But yeah, remember, this is again finding that ship in a junkyard or something and fixing it up so your early Rebel Alliance can have just one more ship to fight the Empire. And yeah, I guess there just weren't the original engines available anywhere. So just make something up in your head to justify it looking like this. So yeah, as a result, this thing is very rugged looking in general, very used and beat up. So yeah, it has lost a lot of its sleek features that it used to have. It's not as curvy and not as elegant anymore, but it makes it more at home with a pirate group or underground rebel cell or something like that. And that is also represented in the color scheme, which isn't a shiny chrome and yellow finish, but gray and, well, yeah, gray and a bit of less shiny colors here and there. Alright, moving on. When you look at the front, you will notice that it is a bit more edgy than on the original craft. Like it doesn't curve down and inward. I had a design that used slow pieces like those on the back here, just the slightly longer ones. But honestly, I came back to this design, even though it isn't as accurate. I just felt that it fit the whole sort of improvised theme of the build a bit more, and it kind of reminds me of the noses of old World War II fighter planes, like a Spitfire maybe. So I left it that way. But yeah, if you were to build my design, I don't think anyone would stop you from making the front more accurate. Now, the wings are just your regular old 1x3x6 wing pieces, and those 1x2x2 wing pieces right at the front here. For the body or fuselage, I also used wing pieces, but this time the larger ones that go straight for like 2 studs and then come together at an angle. They are kept angled downwards the way they are by using those modified plates, modified 1x2 plates with clips and bars, yeah, those here. And they're also hidden up front to keep the wing pieces, or just the whole underside section in place better. And those inverted slopes and the 1x4 bricks make up the underside. Now I know that the sides actually move back more straight and then curve inwards at a very steep angle, like so, kind of, towards the center, which looks a bit like a horseshoe crab or some kind of a prehistoric stingray or something. Yeah, but I wanted to keep it simple, because otherwise I would have needed to go for a brick build, like snot technique, which you can see in other mocks of the N1 that you can find online, and I just didn't want to copy that and try something different. Now the rest isn't really too interesting. It's just you get the back section with its few slopes here and there and the pointy tail, and that's it. You can add an astromech head here if you want to, and and you're basically done. The only other thing that's kind of worth taking a closer look at is the cockpit. Like, you get this control panel slope piece and a simple flight stick in front of it, and yeah, those modified plates with rails to kind of close up the gaps a bit more. And there you are. And as you can see, I am using the old cockpit piece, which is from the 1999 Naboo Fighter, which I got as a kid back in the day. And yeah, the newer cockpit pieces all come with the bar, which you can connect to clips. So yeah, I think it would probably look a bit different since you had to redesign this part here to close the gaps and get the cockpit canopy at the right height. Since yeah, you would need those clip pieces. So you don't have to use this exact cockpit piece. I mean, the whole MOC isn't really true to the original in-universe spacecraft anyway, so why not go ahead and just change it up even more? Like redo the engines, brick build them, for example, or use the engine intake pieces that come with the new X-Wing, or yeah, whatever, really. Yeah, and why not do something else for the cockpit too? This here is a fairly common piece. It fits perfectly, and it also makes the front look longer since it's one stud shorter than the other cockpit piece. Or just do something completely different. Yeah, like using these pieces here. Yeah, you would have to close the roof, of course, but that's I mean, this thing is something that I came up with right before I made the video, so yeah, I didn't take the time to figure it out. And I think actually it gives it that kind of gritty Rebel Snowspeeder or Y-Wing cockpit feel, and it actually, now I don't know, if I look at it like this, it kind of looks like something that Space Nazi Germany could have built for Space World War II. I mean, it kind of looks like a BF-109 with all the bars or struts or whatever that are all over the place in the cockpit canopies. Yeah, but anyway, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to share this MOC since it's so, I don't know, crude looking and not really accurate, but even after a few months, I couldn't bring myself to take it apart because it's so different. So I thought, yeah, screw it. Make a showcase video, maybe someone's interested. But if you actually do like this thing and want to build it yourself, I can show you how, but I honestly can't imagine that anyone else would want to build exactly like this. But yeah, if you do, let me know in the comments and I will see if I can make a tutorial video on this little guy. And otherwise, maybe it's good as some kind of inspiration for you if you want to try out something different. Or just use it as an example of what not to do when building a Naboo Fighter MOC. It's really, it's up to you. I mean, in the end, I'm just happy if I can give you a few minutes of entertainment. But yeah, I guess that's it for the video. So thanks for stopping by and watching and listen to me babble on about my weird-looking Naboo Fighter. If you like what I do and if you want to see more content like this and also want others to see more of this, then interact with the video by liking and commenting. And you can, of course, always subscribe to my channel if you feel like it. Oh yeah, and even more important than catering to the YouTube algorithm, please comment if you have feedback, questions, suggestions, or if you just want to say hi. I'm always glad to hear from you guys and appreciate everyone who takes the time to leave a comment. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video. Just some final swooshing here. All right, I'm done. Bye-bye.